First, about the club, that is Man United, as you mentioned, a club that already spent more than 200 million pounds, and probably are going to spend more, and it's going to be a big clash, in my opinion, a great game for us, very important for us, like it's very important for Man United, and it's going to be another very demanding Premier League game, like normal, yeah.
I think Fulham is always hard to play against Fulham. They have a clear identity. Marco Silva is really experienced, is really smart. He can change several things, cover several spaces, and you can see game by game he tried to do that. They are really comfortable because they have the experience, they understand the league.
Yeah, guys, Manchester United, I know they lost their opening game, but will there be cause for optimism from their fans, especially the way some of the new players, Matheus Cunha, played?
I like Cunha.
Yeah.
And Buemo, goals at the top end of the pitch. I felt that they played better, quicker, more exciting. I thought second half particularly was really good. They're fans that are obviously, with the history of that football club. They're used to winning, and obviously it's been difficult the last few years, especially last season. Too easy to play against. There was times where they didn't even look like scoring goals. But I feel like with the signings this season, they'll definitely improve.
Were you impressed with them?
I was. I still think it's a long, long way to go for Manchester United. I like Cunha and Buemo, Sesko. I mean, there's quality in the door, but we've seen this before with United over the years where they bought players and you think, I like him, and then all of a sudden, the biggest job Ruben Amorim's got, I think, is to try and change the mindset of the players. I think that means Garnacho has to go out the door. There's certain play. It's almost like, who do you get out the door rather than who do you get in the door? If you're going to start this new culture, this new way of playing, you need to keep Bruno Fernandes happy. Because he's your talisman. He's dragged that club kicking and screaming through this era, almost single-handedly at times. So I'm optimistic, but I wouldn't be thinking Manchester United would be threatening any kind of silverware this year.
Okay, and on that note, we are going to look ahead to the weekend. Manchester United, one of the games we are getting predictions for. You know how this works, Joe?
I've heard, briefly.
Yeah, so we'll mention all the games.
On the Manchester United app now, the second part of which, the embargoed section, from 10:30pm on Saturday night, so make sure you watch that. But what does the rest of the day now look like for you as you prepare for the trip to Fulham?
Now is just to finalize the starting 11. Has been hard in this beginning of the season, and that is a good thing. I arrange everything for the training, all the information, trying to be really basic on the information. So all the sheets, trying to put that in the 6 sentences for them, and then it's just the final training and travel to London.
It's one of the most beautiful grounds to go to, Craven Cottage. How much do you enjoy the visit there, and what are you expecting from Fulham?
A really hard game. Marco Silva is really smart coach, a really good coach. They have an identity. They play together for a while. But I'm more concerned about our team. We need to understand the opponent, but we need to be to do the right things and to be consistent compared to the last game. That is really important, because in the end you cannot control the result, but everything that we do to get the result is in our control, and we are doing everything.
It was a really good performance against Arsenal. The result didn't go our way, but after that, what is the message to the players in the week we just had?
I think we maintain the same message. That is that we show the good things, we show the things that we need to improve. We have time now to do that, and then you need to feel really excited to see the team again, and that is the feeling in the moment. We go to the games, we know that it's really tough every week. The pressure is there, but in this moment I'm here today. I'm really excited to see the team again, and that is a very good feeling.
Yeah, the fans are really excited to see the team again as well, and our travelling support will always be amazing. But it's 2 very different away games we've got coming up. First Fulham in the Premier League, then Grimsby in the League Cup. So how important are our travelling support every time you play away?
They are amazing, and they showed last season. Everyone who knows our away fans. I don't like to call them, they are our fans. But we'll try. We won last year in that pitch, but we want to play so much better. And I again, we don't control the results, but we want for our fans to feel really proud of our team, and that we are going to do everything to try to win the game and to get a very good performance.
Yeah, well, that connection between you and the fans continues to be really strong, and long may that continue. Good luck at the weekend, boss.
Thank you.
But in the end, it was a defeat to Arsenal on the opening Sunday of the new season for them. But can we safely say that for Cunha as a whole, that United shirt for him, because of his mannerism, because of his belief in himself, he's not going to weigh too heavily on his shoulders?
Well, only time will tell. You know, I think he's a good player. I do think he's a good player, but he'll have to score goals. You know, that three have got to work as a front three. If they just work as individuals, they'll have no chance.
Were you as impressed with that front three? Obviously, it was Mount in the middle of that front three as everyone else was.
I like Mount. I'm a big fan of Mount. I think hopefully if he does well this season, I think he gets back in the England squad. I think he's a very, very good player. But I just think they're individuals. Mount's not, but I think the two that they bought are more individual than team players. You know, they'll do stuff off the cuff, you know, and only time will tell. Only time will tell. I think he done some really good things in the game. He done some really good things. But when he beats the lads and he gets fortunate from the halfway line, Cunha, and he gets to the edge of the box, he hasn't got that, I've got to make the goalkeeper work here. It was like, I've done my hard work, I've just beat 3 or 4 players from the halfway line. That's where I think he needs to change his game up. But I do like him, and I think the fans will love him, but I don't know if they're going to score loads of goals, them two up front.
But what United need, Boydie, which they haven't had enough of in recent seasons, is a player who plays without fear. And he's exactly that, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think they've had it in the past as well. But it's like everything else. When you're at a big club and your performances drop, then all of a sudden people start to question you. I mean, he's got his move. He's obviously buzzing right now. But if it does go another few games, he doesn't go on the score sheet, he doesn't create anything for his teammates, then all of a sudden, we've seen it before, where players start their Manchester United career well, and you think, well, here we go. This is going to be the saviour for them, because it's been so poor for a number of years. There is no doubt that the talent's there, and he's confident in his ability. You can tell that when you look at his performances at Wolves, and don't forget, he's already been at a huge football club in Atletico Madrid as well. So he's been there, he's done it. He's probably the Wolves move, get your career back on track. You had 3 seasons there. He will believe that he's arrived now at a football club that he can showcase his talents. He's definitely got it. But I mean, I'm similar to Mers. Mbeumo and Cunha, they are very good players, but if you're a striker for Manchester United, and I know they're spent big on Sesko, I'm not sure how many opportunities they're creating for you, because they look to do a lot of things themselves. So for Manchester United, that number 9, I'll say it again, your goalkeeper, which Manchester United have got a problem with as well, and your number 9 is crucial. Sesko might turn out to be a good player for United, but I'm not sure if Mbeumo and Cunha create the opportunities for him to be a success.
By the way, Reynald Nouri is coming off for Man City. We'll go back to Clinton very shortly on that. But for you, Dors, picking up on Brian Mbeumo's come in from Brentford. I mean, he was very, very tightly marked by Arsenal. They're very aware of what he can do as a player because of those London derbies. But overall, how positive a debut was it?
I was going to say great debut. It wasn't because they didn't win a football match and they lost too many, lost 18 Premier League games last year. But I was really impressed with the front three of Mason Mount in with the new signings. I like them. I'm a big fan of Cunha. 15 Premier League goals at Wolves. I think he's got the X factor. And you see there he's running in behind. Boydie's saying about creating chances. I think they will create chances. Sesko's going to have to take them when he gets his opportunity to start. But I think it was a positive debutant for both of them. I really, really was. The only was, again, you become getting used to losing football matches, and we can't just say, they played well. This is Manchester United. You have to win when you play well, and they lost too many games last year. But 2 good signings. I think they were going to improve them. Then again, anybody could have improved that Manchester United team that was out there last year. That's it. But like Cunha, like Mbeumo, 20 Premier League goals for Brentford last year. Big players, and they will improve them.
They drew with Arsenal not long ago at home 1-1. They lost. I mean, I know what all the fuss is. They lost 1-0. They drew with Arsenal. What was it? April towards the end of the season, 1-1. You know, and then that was a late goal by Arsenal, and all of a sudden they get beat 1-0 and everybody's waxing lyric about them.
I don't think the waxing lyric.
No, I'm not talking about you. I didn't say
no,
you.
No, I
I'm
know,
just
but I
saying
just think it's a
people
positive.
going mad, going, it's positive. How's it positive? They lost.
Yeah.
They lost.
I just think the improvements, that's what I said about losing 18
The bar's so
Premier League
low,
games.
isn't it, though?
The
It's been
bar is
so
so
low,
low.
isn't it?
Yeah, but
Performance was
spoke
better.
about Arsenal last week, they weren't at the best. They still went to Old Trafford and got 3 points. You know, Manchester United, they were brilliant. They were the front three done really well. Never scored. Didn't score, didn't win the game of football. And, I mean, if you're Manchester United and you want to get back, these are games that you need to start winning.
I think this game tomorrow's a big game for Man United. They need to win that game. Need to win that game because they need to start winning football matches. But yeah, I thought they were better at the back, Man United. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to score goals. You've got to score goals. It's all about scoring goals. You know, and that's why I was shocked yesterday when Delap come off. They're 5-1 up, Chelsea. You bring
Give him
Delap
game
up.
time.
Well, you want to score goals. You know, these two have got to get off the mark as quick as they can. You know, the lad at Liverpool's done it already. Ekitike. Yeah, he's done it. So, bang, tick the boxes. You know, Delap, I'm thinking, he could go 10 games now without scoring a goal. And he could, because you know what the Premier League's like. It's ruthless. And game comes after game, and he might be subbing a game, and that counts as an appearance. And people don't go, oh, he was subbed 4 times. They just go, oh, he played 10 times. I was shocked with that. These two have to get off the mark. I think this is a big football match for him tomorrow.
That's what you're thinking with Fernandes, obviously being that further one forward than the two behind the main striker last season. It looked as if he's maybe going to be deployed in that central midfield role now.
I have to find a place for him on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. But
Bruno, but they're going to be open.
Yeah.
They're going to be. I think Mount gives you legs. Do you know what I mean? He gives you energy.
Casemiro doesn't give you legs.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Gives you loads and loads of experience. The only thing is that I would say about the two up front, they can put the fear factor in you. I think Dawes will say if he was playing against him, he'd be panicky.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make teams go out and attack Man United like they used to attack Man United. I think they'll show them a little bit more respect.
The Red Devils boss confirmed on Friday that goalkeeper Andre Onana is fit and available for selection, but he refused to guarantee whether the Cameroonian would be back in the squad after being brutally snubbed last weekend, where Bayendier once again failed to make the most of his opportunity. At the other end of the field, £73.70 mil striker Benjamin Sesko was a second-half substitute in the loss to Arsenal, and the Slovenian will certainly have his eyes on Mason Mount's spot in the capital. Likewise, Fulham's only 2 fitness concerns also lie in defence, as left-back duo Ryan Sessegnon, unspecified, and Anthony Robinson, knee, were both missing from the squad to face Brighton last weekend. However, Silva refused to rule either man out of Sunday's game in his pre-match press conference, although Calvin Bassey is still the most likely candidate to line up on the left-hand side of the backline. Further forward, Raúl Jiménez will certainly be fearing for his place after Munez's South Coast heroics, while Silva also has a critical dilemma to solve in the number 10 role, where Josh King, Emile Smith-Rowe and former Red Devil Andreas Pereira are all options.